What's up, YouTube fam? Check it out. Tonight, I'm going to be frying some drumsticks, as I like to refer to, chicken legs. Okay, I'm going to use this much oil in a pot this size. I can tell you, it can go through the numbers with you, but really, honestly, there's really no point. Just get you a decent pot. I really like to cook this stuff in a cast iron pot, but that one's at the house in the country, so I'm going to just do what we got here. And I'm going to use 4 large eggs. You're going to need a little something to put your chicken in. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, you want to get your oil around 350, 375 range and cook about 4 to 6 legs at a time. You could do a little more, but if you do 4 to 6 at a time, do it for about 10 minutes. Especially decent large chicken legs like that. What you're going to want is I already ground up about that much fresh ground black pepper. And I guess about a teaspoon of garlic, teaspoon of onion powder. Oh, don't forget my paprika. Teaspoon of paprika. And 2 teaspoons of Tony's. I got other stuff I can use too, but we're just going to go with the Tony's. If you got any of these you want to use, by all means. But I prefer with the chicken to use the Tony's. Now I'm going to use a cup of the chicken breading. It's just basically flour chicken mix. You can put chicken powder and stuff like that in there if you want to. A cup of self-rising flour, teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, and for the mixture over here, I got several different sauces I can use, but to be honest with you, I'm going to use my habanero. Well, it's got habanero in it, but my Carolina Reaper hot sauce that I made. Alright, so what you're going to do at this time, I decided to go ahead and revamp my recipe and use 3 eggs because one of the eggs looked broke as a joke. So what you're going to do is you want to throw these eggs in here. Just like that. Now, but for real, what? Alright, let's try that again. Alright, much better. Alright, all 3 of them in there. Oh, shoot, I forgot to tell you. Okay, about 3 cups of milk. Yeah, you're going to need the milk, and I know about how much 3 cups is. That's what I got left in here, actually. Okay, at this point, I can't tell you how much to use because I made this personally, so ooh, that stuff smells hot. I'm going to put about 2 teaspoons of it in there. And understand, even though this stuff is extremely hot, it's still not going to make your chicken too terribly hot, even though we're going to soak it in there and put it in the refrigerator for a little while. But I'm going to put about 2 teaspoons, about that much. And at this point, you're going to want to beat this like a redheaded stepchild, either with a whisk or a fork, and get it blended nice and thoroughly. Alright, covered that with some saran wrap. I got 8 of them in there. That's all I'm going to be cooking tonight. Put it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. Alright, just put the rest of them up and save them for later. Alright, in this bowl, go ahead and get your flour and seasoning all mixed up. Baking soda, salt, black pepper, paprika, Tony's Satcheries, and onion powder, garlic powder, and roughly a cup of chicken powder, breaded chicken fry, whatever, this stuff. Whatever that is. Okay, I'm using the same thing, so I'll know I'm getting it about even. So your flour, and then mix all that up real good. You can put it all in a bag if you want to and shake it up. You can use a fork, a whisk, whatever, a spoon, like I'm doing. Just get it all even. That's the whole point. And when you're said and done, that's exactly what it's supposed to look like right there. I decided I'm going to put a teaspoon of these chicken granules in there also. Now I'm just going to be dropping and rolling the chicken in here, and I'm only going to do it a once dip. You can double dip if you want to. You know, double dipping means put them back into the egg and milk, and then after you floured them one time and then put them in, but I'm just doing one time. Now I did pull out some more oil because of the size of this pot, so I'm actually using one of these and maybe a third, maybe almost a half. Yeah. But if you was to put those drumsticks in a bag and shake them like you do with the fish and stuff, it works really well also. So, that's how that stuff looks. Alright, that's the perfect height. So what you really want, you want just enough in there to where your chicken can go all the way to the bottom and be totally covered, okay? Don't worry, a lot of it flows over because the oil's hot and it'll get the top, and you're going to kind of, you don't want to mess with the chicken too much. You won't knock your crust off, you know. But go ahead and get this preheated. You can use a thermometer, dip in there if you want to, or you can do like my mama's old way. You just kind of flick a little water in there and you know it's right. You can tell and you know how it sizzles. So, and when you put your not fish, but chicken in there, you're gonna know. So, and remember, you got to cook chicken a little bit longer because it's got to get all the way through there. You don't want no undone chicken. This ain't nothing like it's something else. All right, we're gonna bring this out along here, get it staged. And it's been sitting in the refrigerator about 30 minutes, so it's good and ready to go. It's nice and chilled. And we're going to cook it a good long time because you don't want no undone chicken. Some might refer to that as raw chicken. Check it out. Got it all staged. Got my receiving plate over here with some towels to absorb the oil. And I got one of these little dipper strainer basket looking puller outer things. I typically like to use the little tongs, but guess what? They're in house in the country, right? So I'm going to pull this off right here. It's getting it swirled around a little bit, so that means it's getting pretty hot. I'm going to shake it with a little bit of water. Oh yeah, alright, so now, yeah, hear that? Now I'm going to drop it down to about 8. Yeah, we're getting pretty close. I typically like using a gas stove. I'm a little bit better with controlling the heat than an electric stove, and also I got one of those electric fryers that you dip the basket down into, and it's got the little light that comes on. It's kind of foolproof. I love using that thing, but guess what? It's also in the house in the country. So at this point, I'm going to start rolling these around. I'll show you how to do one of them, and I'm going to put the rest in. I've got 8 of these, so I'm going to just go ahead and do them all. I think I can fit all 8 in there. I'm going to do them all at one time. So instead of 10 minutes, I'm going to let them run for about 15 minutes. Once I get them all in, that's when I'm going to start counting. All right, give it a good roll around. Get some lots of good on there. Like I say, you can double dip these if you want. But I'm just single dipping them. All right, put that bad boy in there. Perfect. Alright, now I've got them all in the pot, and I'm going to do the countdown for 15 minutes. I typically like to look for the largest ones to put them in the pot first because they're going to take a little bit longer to cook than the smaller ones, but these are all pretty even, so you're going to want to fry these uncovered. Don't cover it up. You don't want that moisture dropping back down, and you can start a fire that way. And also, it doesn't cook as crisp. And this stuff right here, I mean, you can put this in the refrigerator if you want to in something so you don't have to remake it up again. And you can put this in there so I can recook the other chicken tomorrow night. But you don't want to leave that chicken in there too long after you thawed it out. Alright, while that's frying, I got this. I'm going to put lids on that, put it in the refrigerator for tomorrow. And I'm going to clean as I go. Alright, and there you have it. That, my friends, is some good looking chicken. Now, I did pull it out at 12 minutes instead of 15 minutes. That's only because I think my grease was a little bit hotter than normally. But this is going to be really good. The chicken just started to float a little bit. That means it's all well done. And, you know, you don't want to get it overdone, but you don't want to have it any raw either. So at this point, you know, you can kill your heat, and if you want to use some of that to make you a gravy with some flour, and put over some rice or homemade mashed potatoes, oh yeah. Now in some other videos I've shown y'all how to do that, how to make gravy. You use just a little bit of your leftover and you know, pour most of it out and then put you some flour and brown that flour and then start adding water to it, make it a little soupy. It'll cook down just right to get the consistency just right, and you put it over your rice or your homemade mashed potatoes. I got a video of the homemade mashed potatoes somewhere too, but this chicken smells so good. I typically have it just a little bit lighter than that, but a golden. But this is wonderful. That's a good looking chicken now. That is what you call Southern made fried chicken. That won't make you slap your mama. That'll make you slap your grandma right there now. Alright, y'all.